Ready? All right, I'm going to call to order the August 7th, 2024 meeting of the EMUA Municipal Utilities Authority. Please read the opening statement.
Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting pursuant to both the Open Public Meetings Act and Emergency Remote Meeting Protocol advised in local finance notice 2020-2021 has been given by the Director of Finance, Deputy Executive Director of the EMUA Municipal Utilities Authority on June 6, 2024 in the following manner. Emailing written notice to the Burlington County Times, Courier Post, and Central Record. Posting written notice on the official EMUA website. Filing written notice with the clerks of Evesham and Medford. Written notice was posted at the authority's business address located at 100 Sharp Road, Marlton, New Jersey 08053 on June 6, 2024. This statement shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Chris, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Here.
Mr. Dross,
Here.
Dr. Hunter,
Here.
Mr. Sweeney,
Here.
Mr. Schmidt, not present. Mr. Tenza,
Here.
Mr. Waters.
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the July 10th, 2024 meeting?
Second.
Does anyone have any questions, comments, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Abstain, I wasn't at the meeting. Public comments on agenda items, seeing no one from the public, close public comment. Financial resolution 2024-85, payment of bills. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Does anyone have any questions on the bills?
Yeah, just a couple. Page 10, the broken windshield. What was that as a result of?
The lawnmower picked up a rock. Someone else cutting grass and lawnmower picked up a rock.
And just for educational purposes, on page 14, what's a pretzel for fit test?
They ordered, we had training, so they bought salt pretzels.
So when we okay.
They tested the salt content.
It said pretzel for fit test.
That's better for people.
Okay.
So we gone for a training for about 4 hours and, you know, we hear.
No, I understand. I just didn't know what a pretzel use was in a fit test. Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
I accept I'm abstaining on purchase order 25-00039 for Florio Perucci due to an indirect conflict of interest. All right, resolution 2024-86 refunds, credits, and cancellations. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Does anyone have any questions or comments on this?
Sure.
Go ahead, George.
Right, there's 3 on here for James Tarsi for $8,800, $8,200, and $8,200. There's 3 of them. To explain that one. So James Tarsi he was a developer who bought some property in Pine Grove section. He had planned to develop it. We just continued to run out of the time frame of 15 months to get the project to completion. We extended it a few times for him. This was the last time we extended him last year. His time had run out, so we give him 80% of his connection fees back, and 20% for administrative costs and fees. All right, thank you very much.
Anyone else? Please call the roll.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2024-87, authorizing award of contract through Omnia Partners National Cooperative Purchasing Program to Safeware Inc. in the amount of $41,202 to purchase 6 Blackline Safety G7 cellular portable gas detection monitors and peripherals. Can I have a motion, please?
So, second.
Okay, does anyone have any questions on this? Or I'm sorry, Jim, go ahead and explain.
Yes, it says it's a new meter that's come out. It's also, it does several different things. It's portable gas meters. The guys can flip it on, they're down in confined space. And it also, if something should happen, and we have a lot of guys that work by themselves at night and stuff. So this meter, you have it on your body in person, if you should fall, it will call you, ask you if you're all right. If you do not answer, they will send somebody to that site.
Very good.
So,
that's
you're the first phone call guys and plant guys that are here by themselves.
I like that.
Yeah, if you stand still, if your body does not move for a defined period of time, you know, their answers it calls you, on the radio, calls you, they do it. If you don't answer, they call 911.
It's also got a help button, so if you can't talk, you hit it.
You can say I'm falling and I can't get
Can't
up.
get up.
It's also a 4-year contract, so it's a cellular device, yeah.
Okay.
I get one from my mother. No, that's really good.
Yeah, it is, it's interesting.
You fall, you don't move, you hit the button.
It's like a fireman have them.
Oh, it's great.
So a siren, like a little beep will go off and keep going off, so if somebody comes, they'll know where you're at. It's like a little sound.
Is there a way that if they accidentally hit it, like they butt dial it and
Well, it'll call, you say, are you all right? You can answer. say,
Oh, you can answer.
I'm fine, you know,
Oh, okay.
sorry, I hit it by mistake, or, you know, I fell or something like that, but I'm okay. So you can acknowledge it.
Oh, good, okay. Sounds like, anybody have any questions?
Yeah, is this the total amount for all the 4 years or is this annual?
No, all
Okay.
4 years.
Anyone else? Please call the roll.
Mr. Dress,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
aye,
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2024-89, rejecting apparent low bid and award of an open-ended contract to RD Zulli Incorporated in accordance with their bid not to exceed $400,000 for emergency repair services. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second,
Laura?
So we went out to bid for our emergency repair service contract, and this is actually a cooperative purchasing arrangement. We're the lead agency, and then the township can also purchase off of the same contract. And we did have to disqualify the low bid because they did not bid prevailing wage rates for all of their positions. And that's required in the bid specs and for public works contracts. So RD Zulli was the next low bidder, the next low responsible bidder, and we recommend award to them.
Okay, and Jim?
2 years, right?
Jeff, you're happy with?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
RT's been very responsive to us, and we have our emergencies, thankfully, we haven't used much lately, so it's been very responsive and good response. So.
Anybody have any questions? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Dress,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
aye,
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2024-91, award of emergency contract in excess of $44,000 to AC Schultes in the amount of $69,771 to clean, repair, and reinstall pump at well number 9. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Jen?
Yes, the well, when it would shut off, the shaft would completely just stop dead, and then we were having issues with it, so we tried to put another motor on, do different things to it, try to get it to work. Unfortunately, it did not work, so it had to come out, and then the TV didn't stop, so we had an issue.
Does anyone have any questions for Jim Lawrence?
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, something down, underneath in the pump, because they call them bowls, and there's probably 7 on that one, they'll pump the water out, something in one of them.
So you had a resolution for it now.
Yeah, they rebuild the pump, and then they'll come back out and install everything.
And that's all part of the 69,700.
Yeah, it's likely to increase to some extent. We know preliminary what we need to do. We have to go down there and re-clean the wells. It's called swabbing it. And it just says it's down swabbing, so they'll acid treat it. below some of the debris outside, they have to fix the pump, there was something binding in the pump. Now, the pump hasn't been pulled totally apart, so it could come a little bit, a little north of this cost.
Yeah.
But this is the preliminary cost now before they pulled everything apart. And which is a horrible thing that we have to deal with right now with the weather, the way the weather's been, but unfortunately, we've got 6 well back up pretty much at the same time that this went down, so.
Okay.
We're not struggling for water, so we're in good shape with water, but this is something that we need to get back fixed and very fast.
Anyone else have any questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Truss.
Aye.
Dr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Executive Director's report, Jeff?
Yes, sir. Happy to report that we have no violations again. Since we last met, we've had 0 water main breaks. We have 2 discolored water issue call-ins that came in both situations. We found everything to be in compliance with the water, and we just advised the homeowners to flush it and clear, and it seemed to be to resolve the issues. We had also a couple odor in the water. And the same thing, one of the issues was the aerator was bad on one of the sinks, and you carry aerators and you change them out, and so it has some bacteria mold growing in it, so we changed that out, and that was pretty good, and again, the residuals were normal, so they see all our bacteria eliminating fluoride through the system, so we've seen that. And the other one was a rotten egg smell, which is generally associated with a bad hot water heater. And because it comes more through the hot side, so we advise to flush the hot water heater, and we haven't heard nothing since, so they were both rectified. If you guys folks remember, we agreed to go into an agreement with Mount Laurel to fight yet again a New Jersey American water's rate increase. I'm happy to report we have a loss, but we have a win. If you recall, for the general meter, which we under that umbrella, they wanted 22%. The BPU argued back and forth. They agreed to allowing New Jersey American to raise their rates to 10.66%. They also wanted to do what was called a general management services increase of 26%. The BPU allowed them to go to 8% for that. We are taking a pretty significant hit for an increase for both of them percentages, but again, with the coalition with Mount Laurel, we're able to get that reduced significantly. It's not a win, but it's a win, if you know what I mean. And last month, we've had 3 inspections on our wastewater treatment plants with the new DEP inspector. I'm happy to report we've had no significant violations or change. No violations whatsoever, and just a couple of recommendations that really non consequential. So he's been good for us, so he's happy with our systems. The authority just trained 3 township public work employees for their CDL. That essentially saves the township about $15,000 in training. So we train for them as a shared service. And so if you guys know the way they're getting your CDLs. Next month, our laboratory manager, Caitlin Crowbush, she will be here to go over the CCR report, Consumer Confidence Report. And she's happy that we're gonna have a seat for her, so she's not gonna have any issue. And so yeah, she'll be here next month. National Night Out, I'm sure everyone knows, has been rescheduled to the 27th. We will be on board for that as well, as along with the water we supplied. As I stated earlier, we're happy to see the 6 wells back up online, especially with the breakdown of 9 wells. So we lost 1, we gained 1 back. So we're quality healthy. That's all I have.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Jim? Seeing none, is this when we go into executive session?
No.
No, it'd be resolution 2024-90.
Okay. And we do the resolution now?
It has nothing to do with executive session.
Oh, okay.
It's completely different.
All right, resolution 2024-90, authorizing approval to add section 4, chapter 15, remote work policy to the authority's personnel policies, procedures manual, and employee handbook. Can I have a motion? So moved.
Second.
Frank?
We developed this policy, as you know, when we approved the last union contract, there was comment from the board about what we need to do as an organization to
continue to retain and attract quality employees. In the interim, what had happened was we had, and I gotta be careful because the employee wasn't right, but we did get a request, there was an inquiry about the possibility of a partial remote work study. So in working with Labor Council, I, had dialogue back and forth with them. And as a result of that dialogue, this policy was developed. This policy applies to exempt salaried employees. It's not recommended, and nor would it be practical to have a remote work policy for hourly employees, particularly the guys in the field. You can't check a well working from home. But it lays out how you apply for remote work. It would be no more than 2 days a week. It would last for a year. You have to reapply at the end of that time. There's no guarantee that you would, that it would be permissible or approved. You're the appropriate supervisor. Like I said, like the reference initially is appropriate supervisor, then put in parentheses, supervisor. That means the appropriate supervisor has to agree to it, and then ultimately the executive director has to agree with it. There's a form, like a contract they sign. There's certain criteria, like for example, if they're needed for a meeting, they have to be available, come in for a meeting, they have to work for hours, they have to use our IT equipment to access, they can't access any of our network systems on their own computer, they have to use an authority laptops, go through our VPN, they're subject to all our rules and regulations from the authority. And the only difference is the workspace is working in a remote location. That's the Reader's Digest version.
Okay.
And just, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Mr. Chairman. This policy is based, the state of New Jersey has its policy for state employees. I believe, theirs is 3 days a week, we limited it to 2 days a week. And, I use some of the material for a model policy to track this. So the state does this as well.
Okay.
Nice work on that, Frank. Yeah, I have a couple of
Sure, go ahead.
questions. I think they may be typos. If not, I really needed to be explained. In item 3, it says that the authority it says, I think it says the authority it says something about reapplying. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it says the authority can reapply and extend. I think it should be the employee. Do you have that there?
Remote work agreement will be limited to 2 days per week for a period not exceed 1 year. At the conclusion of 1 year, the authority may reapply to extend the period.
Why would the authority be reapplied?
You're right, it's a typo. We can change that.
Similarly, well, in item 11, it says modified by notice of either the employee or the authority. Why would we give free rein to the employee because there's no approval by the authority?
If an employee asks it says, I'm gonna work remotely for a year, and then the reason that they're working for remotely a year ends in a month, or 6 months, the employee says, I'm coming back to work, I don't need to work remotely anymore, they're technically modifying the agreement.
Yeah, I think we should probably put in that the authority has the right to approve or deny the requested modification.
That's what you folks want, I'll make that change. But like I said,
Because otherwise it could be not as simple as that. The reason
It's sort of in there somewhere.
an employee can't extend it, like, an employee can't extend it beyond a year, they can't extend it beyond 2 days a week, that's in the policy. If they want to go beyond a year, they have to reapply. This, as I said, the reason that language is in there is if, you have an employee, they're taking remote work for, I can't think of a reason outside of ADA or FMLA or whatever that particular issue is. They're working remotely for a specific reason. And that reason that they're working remotely ends. And I don't need to work remotely anymore. I want to come back to work. That's why it says they can ask to modify the agreement and come back to work. Maybe they only need to work 1 day a week. They can ask, they're not tied in to doing it 2 days a week or. They can't increase it more than 2 days.
I appreciate that. The policy is very clear on what can be done and what can't be done. And off the top of my head, I racked my brain to think of something that could be to the employee's benefit or outside the scope of the policy itself, but they request a modification. they don't request a modification. They have the right to modify, as the language reads, just by providing notice.
We added.
So it becomes an automatic as long as they provide the required notice.
We put a line subject to.
Yeah, that's what I think should be in there.
Something like that.
That's fine. I'll make the change.
Okay.
I think that'll fix right what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Frank. I racked my brain. Where could it be? Because it stipulates 2 days, it stipulates this, it stipulates that. It's during working hours. And I racked my brain, but Lord knows an employee could come up with something.
If it can, it will.
Yeah,
I don't think that's a big deal.
okay, that's it.
Okay, anyone else have any questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Drossky.
Aye.
Dr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Engineers report, Wayne?
Hello, and thank you for accommodating me. Let's see, South Side Water Tank, nothing new there. Route 70 water main, the contractor is resuming work on connecting the hydrants and building services. There had been a bit of a dispute between the contractor and DOT on safety standards. The DOT prevailed, and it will have no impact on the contract price. Route 70 sewer main, nothing new there. Elmwood Storage Building, contractor has basically completed the footings and foundations. They are waiting for the township code officials to approve the building permit. We've had some back and forth with the fire marshal as to the use of the building. We believe we've supplied all the information with the help of Jeff that the fire marshal needs to approve that permit when he gets back from vacation next week. Well 6 is basically finished now that it's online and the building restorations are complete. We'll be looking to close out those contracts in the coming month or so. And then Elmwood UV, we have some bids to recommend.
Okay, resolution 2024-92, award of contract in excess of $44,000 to Clyde N. Latimer and Son Construction Company Incorporated in the amount of $924,000 for the Elmwood wastewater treatment plant UV disinfectant. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Yes, we've worked with Clyde Latimer and Sons many times. They have done work for the authority. We always wind up with a quality job being performed by the end of the contract, and we recommend this award.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Wayne?
Wayne, what was your engineer's original estimate for the work?
It was slightly over $1 million.
Good.
Isn't that thing good?
Yes, thank you.
Wait for the change orders.
Okay, any other questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Drossky.
Aye.
Dr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. All right,
All right, now we do have a change order for Heritage Village Water Main Phase 3.
okay, resolution 2024-88, approval of change order number 2 in the amount of $500 to MSP Construction Corporation for Heritage Village Phase 2 water main replacement. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Wayne?
Okay. Yeah, this change order basically is 2 issues. And the first issue has 4 components to it, and that is extending the water main to additional areas within Heritage Village that were not anticipated during design, just so that we can take it.
You're talking about the P&A construction. This is the MSP for the 500.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, my eye deceived me. But anyway, yeah, this is just a change in quantities, just 10 extra yards of um, paving, so $500 change order.
So it was a rounding error?
No, it's just that when you do construction work of this nature, sometimes quantities run over, sometimes they run under. And this was just a minor overrun of originally anticipated quantities.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Wayne? Please call the roll.
Mr. Truss.
Aye.
Dr. Hunter.
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Okay, resolution 2024-93, approval of change order number 2 in the amount of $725,210.11 to P&A Construction Incorporated for Heritage Village Phase 3 water main replacement. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, now we're on.
Yeah.
As I started, my false start, there's two components to this. The first component is extending the water main work to areas of Heritage Village that weren't originally anticipated, just so that we can get all of the contract work out from Heritage Village and ease the residents' inconvenience, and also take advantage of the bid prices, which were significantly lower than, for instance, the work over on over in Country Farms. So we have additional streets, George and Williams. We have 2 additional hydrants on Lee and Tomlinson. We have a Main Street crossing by the funeral home, the new funeral home out there. And we have Heritage Road, which had not been shown as asbestos cement pipe on the as-built plans, but it is, and it needs to be replaced. So that's 2 blocks of Heritage Road that will be supplied with new water main. And the total for those extensions of mains into new areas is a little bit over $580,000 of this change order. And then the other item that's covered under this change order, there were about 22 different instances of nicked water mains, house services, all related to the poor as-builts that or no as-builts really that were available from the work that was done 50 to 60 years ago. And you know, that was the rough part of this project, dealing with all of those interruptions and repairs that were necessary. And that work totals about $165,000.
Anyone have any questions, please?
Yeah, the smaller portion, 165,000, that's based on the work that had to be done when they hit something or so that work's actually been done, has it not?
That work has been done, yes.
Okay.
How were those streets missed in the beginning, Wayne?
Various reasons. George and Williams, they were off in the area where Section 1 had been done, but those little stub streets had not been covered in Section 1. So they were kind of missed during design of Section 3 because they were off to another part of the development. And then the Main Street crossing, that we had discussed with the authorities personnel. It just will provide better service for the residents in those areas, because across Main Street we have a 12-inch ductile main as opposed to the 6-inch asbestos main that runs it's only about 100 feet or so along Main Street now. So we'll get that little bit of asbestos cement line replaced. And then, as I said, Heritage Road, the system maps marked that as PVC, but it was not PVC. Back in the 80s, the sewer main had been replaced. There was design prepared at the time for both the water and sewer to be replaced, but for some reason that I forget, only the sewer main work was done. The water main had not been replaced at that time.
Just going back to the 5 streets, who missed them?
Well, yeah, okay,
Not
so
to put
we,
you on the spot, Wayne, but it's. There's streets, when you're going out for a contract, you're reviewing everything, it just dumbfounds me how it was missed.
well, as I said, for George and Williams, they were stub streets. They were off in a different area than we were looking at. We were looking to get the other streets, which were basically around Caldwell and roads going off of Caldwell. And we didn't look over towards where the section 1 work had been done to double check that George and Williams weren't covered.
These are stubs, that was your engineers though,
Excuse me?
that was your engineers?
Yeah, our engineers missed those 2 stub streets.
So if we had not missed the stub streets, would we still be paying the same proportionate amount that we're doing now?
Yes, because the contractor held to all of his unit pricing that he bid in the course of this contract. All this work for additional streets is based on, it's governed by the unit prices that were bid. There's no increase in the unit prices. And that's one of the reasons we wanted to move forward, because we saw that over in the country farm section, the unit prices have increased. And using this contract, we can get the work done for less than we would have had we gone out for bid again.
So if they weren't missed, we would have had to pay this price anyway.
That's right.
And it's better now because they're old than they could break, it cost us more money later.
That's right.
Wait, I got a couple questions. This asbestos pipe, you said it was mismarked, I guess, or not marked correctly on one of our maps. Is that correct?
That's correct.
How do in the future we fix that? Because if this is mismarked, there's probably more out there. Do we need to fix the map, resurvey the maps? We need to TV these pipes. What do we need to do so we're not being hit with these huge change orders? I mean, I'd like to make sure it's all part of the contract and not sticking out like a sore thumb like this is.
Right. So now with technology, we have a better process of recording as-built information. The contractors are required to get us the information in a format that can easily be put onto the GIS mapping of the township. It's not a matter of passing plans and having a draftsman redraft what was on the paper plans that went out to bid. It's coming back to us in an electronic format that just seamlessly gets integrated into your GIS mapping.
So this for moving forward, when we do these projects, the contractor will GIS the pipes to make sure that they know what's under there before they crack open the street?
Right. If we had a contract in, say, 10 years that has to go back into Heritage Village, all these streets, all the water mains that have been placed under these streets have been marked as to their location, their material, their depth, and that is recorded electronically on the system maps, the GIS maps.
But that's for projects that are done, but what happens if we go for a new project that hasn't been done? How do we determine, what can we do to determine what the piping is so that we know going into it?
So if you don't mind, Wayne, I'll step in here just for a second.
Yeah.
So asbestos pipe is extremely hard to replace. It's obvious, it's concrete, it's asbestos. When you talk asbestos pipe, it's cement pipe that is wrapped with asbestos. It's not asbestos inside the pipe, it's cement. So you can't trace it with anything. Any of the modern technology with line detection, all that stuff, you can't, it's very, very hard to trace. So you rely on system maps with, points of interest to say we're 5 feet off of here, 5 feet off of there. Now, what Wayne has indicated is the maps that were originally handed from the developer to Alimo are kind of just, just a bunch of mush. They gave us maps, but they're not correct. Most of the town is now, it's either ductile iron, PVC pipe, cast iron, whatever. A lot easier for our technicians and their technicians to hook up to and trace out. Asbestos is very, very hard, especially when you're in areas, where coal mill and all that were. If you take in consideration phase 1, phase 2, most of them projects, that new main was straight line. Pretty easy to go, valve to valve, points of interest. When you're going around curve bends and all that stuff, like most of these issues were, that main jump from one side to the other side, back and forth. I think going to the future, as we get rid of and replace this asbestos concrete, we'll replace it with better technology. Most of the town is fairly new after asbestos. This was the older section of town that still had asbestos, thus being why we're replacing it.
And that's from what, the fifties and sixties when the
Correct.
federal government.
And not only that, we can implement as you folks support, if you wish, we can ask for tracer wire on one of the mains. We are required on sewer mains because, we can't detect anything that easily in sewer mains, but on water mains, we can do for both water and wastewater, put tracer wires up through each valve. And all you basically do is look up a meter, it'll tell you straight line for as far as you want to walk, where everything is.
So there is, you're saying there is no way for, we couldn't TV it or anything like that?
No, we could have that TV mains. Not worried. I mean, you can do anything you want, but,
It's not gonna give you the information.
no, it's not gonna give you, yeah, we have this called SON, we can pinpoint where that TV's going, the rotor. But, if we're changing this stuff out, generally, our field staff has a pretty good idea because of the main breaks that we've had in that area for decades, but it's being replaced out, we don't anticipate any issues once they finish the project complete for the next 30, 40, 50 years. I mean, I'm sure we'll have something here and there, just with the heating of the atmosphere and the ground. But I think we're,
It will be limited to a small section of the town, right? So
Right.
it's only older.
I mean, Wayne, can you think of any other areas or Jim that have asbestos that were,
No, that was one of the biggest areas right there. No, that's it for right now. Even in, Pine Grove section, you got, ductile iron.
yeah. That's over. Not to, make an excuse for Wayne and Lionel, but, he has some valid points of what happened there.
Yeah, I just want to see if there was a way that we could get ahead of this on future projects, but it sounds like for the most part, we don't need to work, we don't have to be as concerned, but maybe some of the older sections of town, we may need to figure something.
If you look back to phase 1 and 2, we had a significant amount of change orders as well. Not as much as this with this area, but we did have the same problems with changing direction of the pipe. It's clearly not there. And some things, sometimes it says 4 feet, it's 12 feet. So, thank you, Wayne, and you take back over. Thank you, Wayne.
That's why that answers my question.
I have a question, I guess going forward, because I see this amount here, is this the maximum that we'll spend, or is it possible that we find something else?
I don't anticipate anything more. We certainly have covered all the streets that need to be covered. The only thing that could happen is if the contractor has another mismarked service or something like that, but we'll try to help him. And this is a straight road too. So as Jeff says, at least with a straight road, you can pretty much go from valve to valve and go in a straight line between the two and know where the water main is.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for the engineer? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Dress,
Aye.
Dr. Hunter,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye.
Okay. Over at Cardinal Court, Sweet Gum and Cottonwood, that water main is installed and it's being tested. Have had no real issues out there on this particular project. So I'm pleased with how the same contractor, P&A, has performed in this section of town. Sinelli Farm Lift Station, we should be able to get that design up to DEP for a permit application this month. Elmwood and Woodstream SCADA upgrades. We just got contracts back from Allied Control Services. They were the low bidder. They were awarded last month. So we can hold a pre-construction meeting later this month and get that upgrade going. And then we have a couple of development resolutions.
A motion to approve S3W3 for Mystic Blossoms, 65 East Route 70, Unit 2A. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, this is in that strip center near Produce, right, well, attached to Produce Junction. And it's just like a tea house and gift shop.
Is it closer to, I'm trying to picture it, is it closer to Produce Junction or to Franco's?
That I'm not sure. It's
It's in the
somewhere,
middle of that,
The only one
the dry
next
cleaners.
to, Fanning Jewelers.
Next to Fountain, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just next to you.
or the, dry cleaners.
Okay. Any questions for Wayne? Please call the roll.
Mr. Drossy?
Aye.
Dr. Hunter?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Motion to approve motion to approve W3 for Estia Tavern, 140 Route 70 West. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Wayne?
it just wants to increase the size of their water service to get better water pressure in the restaurant.
Anybody have any questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Drossy?
Aye.
Dr. Hunter?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Motion to approve S3W3 for Plaza Azteca, 515 North Route 73. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Wayne?
Yeah, this is the old Bertucci's restaurant, and they are keeping the same number of seats. Everything is pretty much the same except for the type of food they're serving.
Okay, anybody have any questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Drossy?
Aye.
Dr. Hunter?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mr. Tenza?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye. Any final questions for the engineer from the committee? Okay, thank you, Wayne.
You're welcome.
Then we're gonna go into executive session. No action will be taken in executive session. Resolution 2024-94, executive session for personnel matters. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
All in favor, I'm sorry, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Executive session.
Good night, all.
Good night, Wayne.
I'm actually going tomorrow Friday, and I'll take the meeting to the show. Yeah, I was on the side, because I'm working.
All right, can I have a motion to go back into,
You ready, Jordan?
Give me 1 second.
It's gotta move it up.